Some YouTubers have been slapped, punched, and even killed because they kept pushing the boundaries and ended up messing with the wrong people to stay relevant. These 10 YouTubers suffered terrible consequences for chasing clout at someone else's expense. Starting with Sneako, who lost his 2 very successful YouTube channels, both of which had a combined following of more than 2 million subscribers. His content was viewed as misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, and generally offensive. At some point, he even accused Mr. Beast of influencing kids towards transgenderism. But Sneako seemed bent on fighting anyone, just like when he messed with Penguin Zero after the latter had reacted to a Fresh and Fit controversy, something Sneako didn't like.
Fit podcast, the entire purpose of this show is to bring women on to insult and belittle them to their face, while also preaching that men should have the right to cheat on their significant other as many times as they want, whereas their significant other isn't even allowed to look at other men. They have to go in public with like horse blinders on, and if they even so much as glance at a dude, you need to kick them to the streets immediately because they're disgusting, worthless. It's a lot of horrible, abhorrent shit that they talk about.
Sneako not only insulted Penguin Zero's girlfriend to undermine the relationship, but he also threatened Penguin Zero with a gun on stream. Penguin Zero didn't take this lightly and even made videos calling out Sneako. In one video, Penguin Zero practically schooled Sneako on gun education. This made Sneako a laughingstock on the internet for a while.
That guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look stupid.
Surprisingly, Penguin Zero and Sneako found a way to patch things up.
Hope we could talk again in the future. I don't think we should have beef. And yeah, you did. I want to thank you for starting that whole Sneako hate brigade, because it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I am guilty of doing the same things that I am mad about. And I do attribute a lot of that to being canceled and a lot of resentment about that. But I just have to spread positivity now and not engage in the same type of behavior that I criticize. Yeah, you're right about that. So I'm just going to go and, I'm not going to go attack mode anymore. I don't think that there's any value to that. It's just going to come back to me.
Well, I actually really appreciate the conversation, man. It's nice to hear like a more human side of you outside of like, what I see on Twitter or Rumble.
However, it was Sneako who needed some patching up when he messed with the former UFC middleweight champion, Sean Strickland. Strickland wasn't someone to play around with. Even though he was a professional fighter, he accepted a challenge to spar with Sneako. And for the first 3 minutes and 30 seconds, he was clearly taunting and toying with Sneako, telling him he was about to feel the worst pain of his life. True to Strickland's words, the last 30 seconds of the round was something you have to witness for yourself.
There you go.
Oh.
Jesus. Pop your jab. You still good? Still good.
That's nice.
You didn't fall down, Sneako. You didn't fall down.
There were different reactions to the video, with some people condemning Strickland for going so hard against a non-professional. Others faulted but praised Sneako for daring to get into the ring at all. One thing everyone agreed on was that Sneako had clearly messed with the wrong person. Messing with people is what initially gave Neon fame. His rise has been filled with deceit and lies, from pretending to be sick with COVID-19 to spreading rumors of his death. Fans soon realized how toxic he was. Thanks to his success, Neon began collaborating with other streamers, such as Aiden Ross and Fusi. During one of their streams, Fusi, in an argument with Neon, gives him a free pass to say mean things to him. Fusi ended up threatening to kill Neon, which led to more arguments, and soon the two were saying things to get a rise out of each other. But when Neon accused Fusi of thinking he was perfect, this was when Fusi completely lost it and slapped Neon.
You think you're perfect. You're not. You're far from perfect. You got a bastard. I think I'm perfect. You said you were do that? I think I'm perfect. I just prayed and cried to Allah and asked Him for forgiveness for all my shortcomings and sins. Respect your elders and get the out of my house.
He then proceeds to throw food at Neon while telling him to get out of his house. However, Neon has nothing on getting slapped when compared to Jack Doherty, who would probably take the award for the most slapped YouTuber of the decade. He started out flipping markers on YouTube in 2016. Then the young innocent boy switched to pranks and soon became one of the most hated YouTubers in the US. By January 2018, he had reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube. This success has been achieved because of Doherty's ability to cause chaos in public places, like supermarkets, with his pranks. He has already been kicked out of Target and banned from all Walmart stores. However, the YouTuber's strategy is all about upsetting people for content. He was on camera having an altercation with a man trying to protect his kids. Doherty was quick to turn to his bodyguard to protect him. This has become a habit, where Doherty will intentionally assault someone who is minding their own business just because he has his bodyguards around to protect him. However, this hasn't always worked out for him. He has been in the news a lot for getting hit or slapped while live streaming. In fact, a user on X posted about the recurring issue. Jack has been slapped 50 times in less than a month. It's time to get some security. Doherty also ended up getting slapped by the Island Boys after they felt unwelcomed by him because he had turned his attention to other streamers who were at the gathering. In another event at his house, a popular streamer named Izzy Prime hit Doherty while he was streaming. It was kind of bizarre because it looked like there was no premise for the slap.
That's nice.
Yeah! I told you!
In another situation, Doherty was attacked by YouTuber Fusi. It all started when Doherty called Fusi a beta and took a water bottle and splashed it all over him. Things then got physical when Fusi slapped Doherty after he made the comment.
He doesn't even have his kid money yet. Yo, you're
I'm beta.
imagine being 33 years old and yo, get me some water bottles, Sean. Give me some.
You're lucky I made friends with your security.
Hey, now we can't box. There's a whole.
Fusi had to be escorted out of the building. Now, the pranks get even more serious when Aiden Plerterski and his friend decided to scam investors for over $29 million. According to court documents, he only used 1.6% of that money for investments, but he spent a lot on fancy cars, private jet flights, and big houses by the lake. In Toronto, Aiden called himself the Crypto King, and more than 100,000 people follow him on social media. After showing off his flashy lifestyle, he then started selling investment opportunities to his followers. But in July 2022, police began receiving numerous complaints about investment fraud. Their investigation revealed Aiden and his friend were generating large weekly profits through savvy investments and had ultimately defrauded their clients. While the case was being investigated, in December 2022, the 25-year-old Aiden was taken by force late at night. His captors let the self-proclaimed Crypto King go after 3 days, but with a threat. Aiden had to find some money quickly, as per court documents. A battered and bloodied Aiden is seen saying in a video obtained by CBC News, "I'm sorry, I really am. I didn't want to or mean to ruin anyone's life." His lawyer later mentioned that the video was recorded during the abduction. However, that wasn't the only problem. Following a 16-month investigation, the authorities declared that Aiden was being accused of committing fraud exceeding the amount of $5,000 and money laundering. He was arrested but released on $100,000 bail, with his parents signing as sureties. He was also required to hand over his passport to the police. This was the biggest fraud case in the region, not only because it involved a huge sum of money, but also a large number of victims and more than 36 court orders. Although none of the claims against Aiden have been proven in court yet, officials stated that he might go to jail for up to 14 years. Zherka hasn't gone to jail, but many believe he might end up there soon. As a Canadian YouTuber, he used to make videos on Twitch and work with other famous YouTubers and Twitch streamers before he got banned. He showed up on a Twitch stream in January 2019 and started on a show called The Rajshalor, where people chatted and flirted. He became known for his funny YouTube content and for discussing topics like religion, politics, and conspiracy theories. Zherka often faced backlash for his strange actions, supporting harmful masculinity and talking about using drugs. He even labels himself as the last masculine Christian. So it wasn't a surprise that Zherka, being the controversial figure who believed he could say what he wanted to whoever he wanted, got into trouble with other people. One of them was HS Tiki-Taki, to whom he had made some really disrespectful comments. He called HS Tiki-Taki terrible names, and even going so far as to call his mother a Zherka didn't end it there. He threatened HS Tiki-Taki, telling him he would find him in the streets and fight. Zherka did indeed track him down on the streets of Miami during an IRL stream. They were initially just shouting at each other when Zherka launched an attack and the whole thing became violent. However, HS Tiki-Taki appeared to have the upper hand, dropping Zherka onto the concrete pavement numerous times.
Boys! Chill! Oh my god. Oh my god, Johnson. Oh, chill, boys! Chill! Oh my god.
The whole scenario had the internet in stitches, as many felt Zherka got exactly what he deserved. This next scenario, however, had the internet pitting Boogie2988, whose real name is Stephen Jason Williams. He was famous for his videos where he talked passionately about video games and geek culture, often playing a character called Francis. The Francis character was all about making fun of the typical nerdy video game players and joking about what's hot in the gaming world. Williams created the character based on his own past and hopes people dislike Francis for representing those gamer stereotypes. His videos cover everything from crazy rants to deep talks about real-life stuff like ethics in YouTube promotions and his struggles with mental health. In September 2020, things got heated between Williams and Frank Hassel, another YouTuber. Hassel thought Williams caused his channel to be shut down and started bothering him. During an interview with Keemstar, Williams got upset and even threatened Hassel. The next day, Hassel went back with a camera to Williams' house. This time, Williams wasn't playing and brought out a firearm, which he proceeded to fire a warning shot to scare off Hassel. The police got involved and Williams ended up with a warrant for aggravated assault. He turned himself in, got out on bail, and later mentioned that his case was resolved through deferred adjudication. He went from being a top gamer in 2016 to almost going broke with no money left. His journey from fame to financial trouble was quite rough. He's still making videos on YouTube and recently made a documentary about his struggles and setbacks. While people like Williams faced real consequences for their actions and are still suffering from the repercussions, there are those like Tanner Cook who face real-life consequences and still learn nothing. Tanner is a YouTuber who is part of the Classified Goons YouTube channel, which has more than 61,000 subscribers. His content is very similar to Jack Doherty's, and he's known for pulling pranks and bothering people who are going about their business. Tanner made news earlier in 2023 after getting shot during one of his pranks at Dulles Town Center. In April, Cook pulled a prank on Alan Coley, a 31-year-old delivery man from Leesburg, Virginia, and things went downhill. He kept harassing Coley, who was clearly confused and not in the mood for games and definitely not pranks. And aside from that, Coley was working at the time when he came into the center to pick up a food order. Tanner kept following Coley around while pushing his phone into the man's face as it played the phrase, "Hey dipshit, quit thinking about my twinkle," multiple times using a Google Translate app. Coley kept telling Tanner to stop 3 different times, but the YouTuber just wanted content. Shockingly, Coley had enough and pulled out a gun and shot at Tanner twice at close range, hitting his stomach and liver. Tanner was quickly taken to the hospital and stayed in the intensive care unit (ICU). Coley was immediately arrested and charged with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and discharging a firearm inside a building. Luckily, Tanner survived his bullet wounds, while Coley went to court and was eventually found not guilty.
So, about an hour ago now, the jury found the defendant, Alan Coley, not guilty of aggravated malicious wounding and the use of firearm for aggravated malicious wounding.
Tanner and his family did confirm that they were fine with the jury's ruling. However, Tanner also made everyone aware that he plans to keep making his prank videos even after his attacker was released, and went so far as to make jokes at Coley's expense. Tanner may have survived, but Timothy paid the ultimate price for his content.
It's a prank gone wrong. A man shot someone during what police are calling a fake robbery. They say it was all for YouTube videos.
Timothy was well known for his pranks in his YouTube videos, which gained him lots of fans. However, Timothy was shot and killed in a fake robbery prank in Nashville, February 2021. Cops believe Timothy was recording for his YouTube when this happened. Timothy and his friend were faking a robbery on the group for a video, but Starnes, the shooter, didn't know it was a joke and shot in self-defense. Nobody got charged, and Starnes and the Nashville police didn't reply when asked for comments. Robbery prank videos were pretty common on YouTube. YouTubers would use fake guns, masks, and even getaway cars. When these types of pranks went too far and got dangerous, the platform had to put a stop to it. Now, videos with threats involving weapons or fake robberies are not allowed and will be removed from the YouTube platform. Unfortunately, while some YouTubers faked robberies, Leslie and Pamela Montenegro, who went by the name Nana Pelucas, was giving actual information on real crimes, using a fancy wig and glasses to make funny videos where she talked and joked about things at the expense of the corrupt local government and crime gangs in Acapulco. She was warned by a drug gang about her YouTube channel, where she talked about things happening in the city. Sadly, she was shot and killed by two men right in front of her husband while they were both sitting in a restaurant close to the tourist area in Acapulco. This is a common occurrence in this area of Mexico, where reporters are targeted and killed on purpose, just like Nana Pelucas. Messing with the wrong people and paying the ultimate price, Fernando Perez Algaba was a 41-year-old Argentine living in Spain and Miami. As a YouTuber, he was famous for his businesses and impact on the world of cryptocurrency. He had started with a luxury car and jet ski rental company before moving into cryptocurrency trading, often promoting his businesses on social media. He also shared his lavish life with his 100,000 YouTube subscribers and almost 1 million Instagram followers. However, this lavish life was said to have been financed by money he borrowed from various sources in Argentina. Unknowingly, Algaba had also borrowed $40,000 from a notorious gang, Barra Bravas. While living in Miami, Algaba decided to visit his home country of Argentina for a week, but vanished. Before his disappearance, a note was found saying he had taken a loan from the notorious gang Barra Bravas. Earlier that week, Algaba had also received a threatening voice note in which the caller said, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to do something worse to you." He added, "I'm going to gouge out your eyes and cut off your hands so that you can't have any more money in your life. I swear to my children that I have no problem going to jail." That was the voice of an aggrieved Iglesias who claimed Algaba was owing his son $70,000. He was reported as missing on the Tuesday of his last week in Argentina after he missed the July 19th deadline to return the keys to his flat and didn't answer any calls. It was some children playing one day that spotted a red suitcase and, upon exposing it, contained the dismembered remains of Algaba. The official autopsy report showed that Algaba was shot 3 times before being cut up and hidden in a suitcase. The way the body was dismembered showed it was done by a professional. Officials used Algaba's fingerprints and tattoos to confirm his identity. Though the mystery surrounding his death baffled the authorities, they arrested someone in connection to the YouTuber's death, and little has been heard of the case since then.